are you today? I am doing extraordinary. I am super happy to be on the call with you guys today. Hoping everything's going right. Right now it's spinning, so I'm hoping that the live catches up with me. So I want to go ahead and start by throwing some oils on. And while I'm doing that, as you're coming in, say hello, tell us where you're from. If the, every single time I breathe peace and calming, I have to stop and just take a second. It is just one of those oils for me. So tell me, what is your oil? Like that one oil that does that same thing like peace and calming does for me. Make sure you tell us what that is. I'm also throwing on some of my frankincense so that I think clearly and share everything. So I am excited, really hoping this is actually running. I'm not sure that it is. It's still doing the little spinny thing. So I'm just going to keep going because I am recording it and I can share the recording if nothing else. Huh. If you're coming in, make sure you say hi so I know I'm not alone. Hey, Linda. Yay, I'm not alone. All right. So I am going to go ahead. The other one I'm going to throw on is sacred frankincense because I want to make sure that we are coming at this from the right direction. I want to make sure that I don't hurt anybody's feelings or cause any offense because that is always the last thing that I want to do. So I'm throwing on my sacred frankincense over my heart. Hello, Paula. I haven't seen you jump on at anything in a long time. So good to see you. So I'm going to go ahead and get started, you guys, because I'm really trying to keep all of these around 30 minutes, but I think today might be a little bit longer. This is the first time I taught this class, but I did type up some notes for you guys. So I will share those notes with you later this week. I will get it all typed up and edit it and share it for everybody. So today we are talking about the 5 love languages and the essential oils that we use and how we work with that. But I just want to say this right now so you guys really get it. We are so isolated right now. We are so separated from one another. So I think everybody is feeling that loneliness, that lack. And I'm hoping today it will give you some ideas on ways that you can do that. Because when we talk about love, we have lots of different relationships. So I love my husband, my spouse. I have that love. I've got my children, my grandchildren, but then I have my family, and I've got my really close friends that are like family, some which are closer than family, and I love them, and I love my team, and I love so I have so many different types of love, and we can show love even on social media. We can show love. The things that we say can come from a place of love. We should be we should be encouraging people every single time you're online. You should be bringing help and joy and excitement to people because that's what you're going to get back. So if you are looking for those good feelings and you're looking for that higher energy, then you need to start putting some of it out because it's a feedback loop. When you're putting good stuff out, you're going to get good stuff back. If you're putting all negative out there, you're going to get that feedback loop and you're going to get the negative and you're going to get people fighting with you and arguing with you and then all the feelings. So we are in control of that. So this is not going to be, political or anything. It's just to say we need to watch our words. Words have power. The words that we speak, the thoughts that we think, and the stuff you type is power. So we need to start learning to control that. So I'm hoping that you guys actually went in to 5lovelanguages.com and took their quiz. If you did not, I highly recommend you do so because it's really enlightening. Because you may think that you are one thing, and when you answer all the questions, you have a leaning towards another. So you can have all 5, but you're going to have some that are more pronounced. And what Brian and I did is I took it by myself as a married woman. He took it by himself um, as a married man. And then we reversed, and I took it as if I was him answering the questions. And it was really interesting to see that some of the things I thought were things that were really high priority for him were not on his when he took it himself. So you might want to try that. It doesn't cost anything to take the quiz. You can take it over and over and over again. So you might want to try that. And they've also got it where you can take it, have your kids take it, and or you can take it for your kids. But after seeing how Brian and I uh, we're a little bit off, not huge. We've been married 33 years. We know each other pretty well. But there were a couple answers that I gave that I answered to that was not his answer at all, and vice versa, same thing for him. So I thought that was interesting. But you can take the kids quiz. You can even think about this when you're thinking of this. You can even think business. So the people that you work with in business that you're the closest with, how do they perceive? Are they, words of affirmation? Are they, because it's going to help you to be able to speak and interrelate and work with them better. It's going to help you to be able to fulfill their needs, especially, we are in Young Living. If you're on this call and you didn't know, this is being done by a Diamond and Young Living Essential Oils. And whoever shared you this link, that's the person you're going to get back with, and they'll answer questions. But even in this, so I've got people that are on my team, and I know what their love language is. I know how, I just watching them, I can see what it is. So I make sure that when I interact, I'm interacting so that I'm touching their heart. Like, isn't that what we really want to do? It's more time effective anyways. And I want people to feel loved when they are around me. That's one of the things that I really want. So I'm going to share some of that. So I'm going to start assuming that you already took the quiz, but what I'm going to do is I'm going to talk about each love language and give you kind of a bit on it. And if I look like I'm reading from notes, this time I am, because I want them to be able to be used by you. And it's the first time I have used a class. So the first one we're going to talk about is words of affirmation. So if your primary love language is words of affirmation, you love to hear words that communicate your worth in the eyes of the person that you're talking to. So you want that feedback loop that you are worthy, that you are more than enough, that you are capable, that you can do things other people can't do, and that appreciation, those words of affirmation, those are really important to them. And just saying I love you isn't enough, because I love you can be a generic thing. So like I said, I love my husband, I love my kids, I love my grandkids. I love food. You talked about that. I love food. So just saying I love you for somebody that needs words of affirmation, that's not going to be enough. It needs to be the why, the heart of what is it you love about me? What makes me so special and unique? That's what they're asking for. um, Voicing how proud you are when they do something. If they do one meal and they ate the way they're supposed to, talk about how proud you are that they did it. If your kid goes through the day and actually doesn't get in trouble all day, and they usually get in trouble, voice how proud you are of that. Let them know with your words how proud you are of it. And don't wait for major things to say how proud you are. Point out all the little things. They picked up their socks instead of leaving them in the same spot that they always do. Voice that you appreciate it, that you notice it. And what you'll notice is they're going to do it more, because those that are words of affirmation are going to do things to be able to get that validation coming in. And the flip side of this love language, though, the flip side is that insults, criticisms, those can be absolutely devastating. And people that will tell you every little thing that has happened over the past 50 years. And they can tell you every single time somebody said something and hurt them and they were mean, and it's here. And it's because that words of affirmation, it's crushing. It's like going written in stone when they are criticized and when they are hurt. And it doesn't mean that you can't ask them to do things different. It's in the tone, it's in the way that we say it, it's how we say things, it's pointing out the good things. Especially think about that with our kids. If you have a child that their love language is words of affirmation, and you even jokingly say that they're a dork, or you say something, you always, whatever it is. When we're doing that, you're speaking that over to them, y'all, that is writing on their heart. That is their love letter, is their words. And not acknowledging when somebody with words of affirmation speaks to you and they're telling you something amazing and how much they appreciate you, and you blow it off, or you're busy, or you're checking your phone instead. That is saying that your love isn't enough. Because understand how love languages work. It's like if I were speaking Spanish and you were speaking English, we'd have a hard time communicating. Well, that's what happens with these different love languages. Is each of us shows it, receives it, feels it in a different way. So if we're not learning how to love in the rainbow, in other words, love in all of the languages, then we're missing those cues from people. And basically what we're saying is your love isn't good enough. So words of affirmation, really important. on how we speak. And let's be honest, shouldn't we always be careful on how we speak? We should only be speaking love and prosperity and good things, speaking truth over people so that we inspire them instead of ripping them down. So that's things to think about. So if that is your primary love language, and you have had damage because you're trying to tell people you love them and through the years it hasn't been taken, understand that that damage, our throat center right here, this is our seat of communication. So this is where all that communication is coming from. And if you are somebody who words of affirmation is your love language and you have been shot down and you've been told to shut up and all of those things, there's damage that takes place here. And there's a few different oils that you can use. But I also want to mention that this area is also where your thyroid and your parathyroid is. So when that communication center is backed up and blocked, you're going to notice speeding up or slowing down. So think thyroid when the metabolism is working like it's supposed to be. Think your parathyroids, those are in control of blood pressure. So when this area has been stifled, when that communication center is stifled, you can notice high blood pressure or low blood pressure, or even that frustration. You'll see your heart rate goes up. This is all happening right here. So some of the really good oils that you can use to open that up would be things like fennel. Fennel helps you to be able to speak your truth and be able to get back some of that because we're told to shut up and be quiet and we're stupid so often that when that's your love language, you seal yourself off from being able to show your love and from being able to receive it. So we need to open that back up. You can also do things like, what else did I have on here? Geranium. Geranium, what geranium will do for you when love, words of affirmation is your love language. Geranium will let you hear what people are saying and hear it through your heart instead of the actual words. Because a lot of times people have a hard time expressing their love. They just have a hard time with it. So you want to be able to hear the truth of what they're saying, and geranium is powerful for that. You can put that directly over your heart so that when you're having a conversation, you're able to speak your truth. Fennel, geranium, you can speak your truth and you can hear what they're saying even if they're not saying the words, you can hear it from their heart. And to me, that is such a powerful addition, things you can do. Chamomile. Chamomile is powerful. I've talked about this one a lot lately because chamomile lets you express yourself without anger. Now, think about what's going on in the universe today, right? There is anger and frustration, like everybody is at their tipping point. But if you are able to rub that chamomile on and you're able to start speaking and sharing and talking without anger, that's what you're going to get back. Remember that feedback loop? So you're going to get those responses back. So it is always coming from that place. So you guys play with some of those, see what you can do. Cypress, rosemary, dill, peppermint, endoflex. Those are all really good for your communication so that you can express yourself. Just express yourself. So grab any of those that you have. Try using those. Peppermint's one that comes right in the kit, so you would have that available. If your love language, if your significant other or your child or somebody, that's their love language is words of affirmation, you need to start using harmony. Harmony is going to help you to start being able to speak the love language that they need so that you can maybe hear it and they can hear you bringing it back. So try some harmony. That's all about peace. That's about that division that's going on. It's going to be able to help bring that back so you can communicate. Again, fennel, because that lets you share your actual heart. Like, what is your purpose? What is it that you want? Because you know you love this person. You love your kids, even when they're driving you nuts. You love your significant other. You just got to be able to come back to that place. You love that person that you work with. It's all there. We just need to throw on some harmony, throw on a little bit of fennel so we can work with them as well. And then here's some things. You need to choose every single day that you are going to consciously speak how much you love and appreciate this person. So whichever whether it's spouse, kid, whatever you got going on, you're going to make a conscious decision every day that you're going to speak that so that they hear it. Because a lot of times we're talking in our love language, so we're doing stuff or we're whatever our love language is. We'll get into some of those, but you need to make a conscious choice to speak their love language and make sure that you do it. So maybe every day you think about how you're going to tell them that you love them. I so appreciate this about you, and they need to hear it. And if you could do 30 days in a row, 21 days, that's a habit. And so once you do that, you're going to see some really good things happening. A compliment, point out something special, just give them a little love. And you know what? Google, how do I show what are words of affirmation that I can give love to this person because they need that. So start practicing it. Let's see. The next one is going to be, my notes are out of order. Of course they are. Hilarious. The next one we're going to go over is physical touch. So if your primary language is physical touch, listen, especially right now, I'm pouring my little heart out to you, y'all. If somebody's love language is physical touch, as much as we have been separated from people and we are isolated right now, I want you to think about that 20% of the population, their love language is touch and they can't touch anybody right now. So we need to have a genuine heart and loving on those people. And when you're speaking with them, even on Facebook, start using words like feeling, touch, expression, because even those words that communicate touch are going to help them to feel a little more soulless. So I'm speaking to you and I want to love on you and let you know that we totally get it. And physical touch, everybody always goes to sex. They're just about the sex. That is such a tiny part of what the love language of touch is. So touch is shaking hands, touch is when you pat someone on the back, or when you touch them as you walk past them, or you touch their arm, or you sit close up to them. Touch can be so many different things, especially when you consider, again, this includes your significant other, your children, your grandchildren. Like one of my daughters, hers is touch. She's a little girl, always super nuggly. All kids like to snuggle, but for sure hers was touch. And so anytime she was near you, she was touching my leg, she was sitting on me, she would sit next to me, lay on me. And so one day she was maybe 6 or 7. And I asked her, what are your favorite ways for mama to love on you, to touch you? Like, what are your favorite? And she said that she loved it when I would rub her back if she fell asleep. So just love on her little back as she fell asleep. Our kids always slept in our bed. So this was after she had moved out of bed. And that just gave her that stability. And then her other one is that she loved it when I touched her hair, when I played with her hair. So we made some traditions, and they were first thing in the morning. I would do her hair and I would brush and we would chit chat and I would play with and braid and do all the things so she got that touch that she craved. And then before bed, I would take that few minutes just to rub her little back and love on her. Now we touch throughout the day as well. But what I found is once I started speaking her language, her way, a lot of the temper tantrums that we had experienced with this one just vanished, just completely vanished because all of the temper tantrums and the problems that we had were her trying to get my attention. And once I started giving her, it was only a few minutes twice a day. I didn't have to spend hours doing it, but I had to concentrate. And for those loved ones that need that touch, we need to learn how to step out of our comfort zone and make sure we're doing it. So if your love language isn't touch, it can be awkward. It's a new experience. You're like, oh, they're so needy. But it doesn't take a lot. It takes when you walk past them in the kitchen, just touch the little shoulders as you go by. When you're sitting near them at a table, reach over with your little foot and touch their foot or touch their hand or all the different ways. And you also have to understand the opposite again. If your love language has been is physical touch and you have been hurt or somebody has physically hurt you in some way, even spankings for some children. I'm not going to say spank, don't spank, that is totally on you. But for some children, if their love language is touch and you spank them or you slap their hand, understanding what you're saying is that's how I'm showing you love because that's how they receive love. And again, those blockages, they're quick and they last. We build up walls against those. So some of the things you can do, again, is making a concentrated effort to reach out and touch them. Again, if it's not your language, you're going to have to make it a habit. For 30 days, you're going to touch in some way so that they can feel that love that you have for them, so that you can express that in a language they understand. So doing that, depending on the ages and who it is. And then you can use some oils like sensations. Sensation over the heart. We always talk about sensation. We've got a sex class coming up. I think it is on Tuesday, male and female health and, and then healthy sex life. And we'll be talking about sensations, massage oil. And we always talk about how it is great for intercourse because it's a great lube, just in case you didn't know. But sensations is about a heart issue. Those oils that Gary put in there are to open up our heart so that we can receive and feel that love. That's what sensations is. It's all about that touch. And so sensations is a great one for you personally to use if touch is your love language, but it's also amazing for somebody to use who doesn't feel that, who is learning how to touch and reach out and love on people. And then also, here's a good one, ask them. Just like I did with my daughter, ask them, how can I show you how much I love you? Like, what do you need? Do you want to hold hands when we go places? Do you want me to kiss your little face? Like, how can I show you love? Because I never would have thought doing my daughter's hair for her would make her feel all lovey-dovey, right? So ask them what they need and see if that you can get the test going so you really know what they are. I'm just saying. What else do we have? All right. Oh, pine and fir. Pine and fir, if you have suffered that hurt and you are not giving love or able to receive words of physical touch anymore, pine and fir are amazing to open that back up. So you can take pine and fir, it allows you to be able to receive love. So it's breaking down all of those walls that we have built up. So those are one that you can do. And yes, Paula, I see your question. Can you be all five at once? You can. We all have little bibbits of all of them. Like all of us want some touch, right? All of us like to be told we're amazing and the different things, but you will, when you take that test, you'll have something that is your primary. So understanding what that primary is huge. Another one is quality time. And I think quality time is one of the ones that we all go, well, of course, quality time that shows you I love you. We kind of get to that one a little bit more. We don't judge it as much. Um, Quality time isn't quantity. I think it's really important to understand that because a lot of times we feel like, oh, I'm just so busy. I don't have time for that. But quality time is taking 10 minutes in the morning before the day starts without the phones going, without saying we're running late, without looking at the clock, just spending time and making eye contact and saying, so what are your plans for the day? What do you got going on? What are your thoughts? What do you want us to get done today? And just that 10 minutes of just taking time with that significant other to say, you know what? I love you. Because that's what that time, that 5 to 10 minutes is all about. And if you are addicted to your media, which most of us are, make sure when that 10 minutes happens, that phone is in another room. It is separate because part of quality time means that you're focused on that person, that you are not, the text goes off and, you might not pick up the phone, but you look over at it. You're like this. You just lost them. When somebody wants quality time, they want your eyes, your little eyes. They want your focus. They want you to hear what they're saying. So be in the conversation. And it could be as little as, like I said, 5 to 10 minutes in the morning and 5 to 10 minutes before bed. That's all it takes. It doesn't have to be tons of things. Quality time is saying, hey, later today when I get home from work, instead of getting started with dinner and stuff, you just want to go for a walk, just me and you. That's quality time. It is not quantity. It doesn't have to be going, all of these big, it is not a trip to Paris. This is just quality time one-on-one with them, with that significant other. And same thing with your littles. 10 minutes straight with a kid, that's a long time for them to stay focused. But 3 or 4 minutes of, hey girl, what'd you do at school? Talk to mom, one-on-one. information, or quality time playing a game. How long does it take to play a game of Goldfish? How often as parents do we say, okay, honey, just a minute, I'll do it later, I'll do it later. Every time you are doing that, you are saying to them, I don't need your love right now. I can't give you any love right now because we are putting them on the burner, right? So if we set time and we say, hey, 3 o'clock today, you and me, let's do whatever it is. That's quality time. That's time with just them. And again, I really implore you, y'all, we do not need notifications from every little thing all the time. I I don't have notifications for any of it. I don't have Facebook notifications. My phone doesn't go off for text. And I have a do not disturb, and it's only my family that can get a hold of me 24/7. And what I do is when I want to follow up with all you lovely peeps, I go into Facebook to see what you had to say. I go in my text and I take the time, and I've got time zones where I do things so that I can be perfectly present in the moment with whomever or whatever I'm doing. And sometimes that whomever is me. It's okay to love on yourself. So if you need some quality time by yourself and you need to take a bath and you need to just oil up, and that's quality time, and you, because we need to love on us as well. We need to speak those positive words over us as well, and making sure that we're not getting interrupted constantly by 100 different things and feeling like you are running all over the place and can't get anything done. I'm just saying. So quality time when they're asking for you to, when you're, if you and your spouse are constantly fighting because you never have time for them, you never have time for me, you're always busy with everything else. That is a person who is saying, please love on me. Take some time, not quantity, quality, to speak into my world, to look at me, to value me. That's what they're asking for. 10 minutes a day. It's going to be great. Let's see, oils that you can use. Acceptance is an amazing oil for you. If yours is quality time, acceptance is something you need to roll on, and you need to understand that you're never going to be able to get 24 hours from somebody. You're not. You need to accept the fact that they love you even if they can only get to you minutes at a time, because the world that we live in is so busy. So acceptance is a really good one. And then I'm going to say the same thing for the person that has someone that needs that quality time. You need some acceptance that you are going to have to consciously decide to show this person you love them by giving them 5 to 10 minutes twice a day. That's all it is. It's just as important as you go and poop. They need it. They need you to love on them. You need to go to the bathroom, right? Those are things we need. You need to make sure you're giving that time to them. Another oil that you can use is, again, that harmony. We need to get back on the same page. We're all like this, right? We're feeling it, they're seeing it, and we need to get that harmony so that we're in the same place. Another one that I really encourage is ylang ylang. Ylang ylang, we will talk more about Tuesday during the hormone class, but ylang ylang is all about balancing. It's balancing that male and that female. It's balancing the energies. It's getting us all on the same vibration. That is ylang ylang. And both of you can use the ylang ylang. It's powerful. Gifts. So the love language of gifts. This is one that I think every time somebody, hang on a second, somebody tests and it comes up that gifts is their priority, they usually are like, "Oh, no, I don't need gifts. I don't feel that way at all." Or the significant other is all like, "Yeah, all about the presents." I need you to understand that that isn't what this is at all. So if your love language is a gifts, what you are saying is, I want to know that you know me well enough and that you think about me when you're not with me, that you can give me these sweet little things. So they're not asking for diamonds, they're not asking for cars. That's not what the gifts, the love language of gifts is about. The love language of gifts is that you thought about me, that you knew me, that you thought about me when we weren't even together. How cool. Like, no, this is silly. I have these little diamond paper clips. It's not a big deal. They're on my table. I do stuff, these cute little, I think they're adorable. And my thing is not gifts, but he got these for me. He ordered them, and when they came in, he gave me the little envelope, from Amazon, and it meant so much to me because he knows that that's my goal, all the things going crown diamond. That's part of my desire, and it meant something to me. They cost him $6. It took no time, literally clicked a button on Amazon, but it meant that while he was doing something in his universe, he thought about me, and I meant enough to him for him to be, "You know what? I want her to have that." And the gifts can be cards. It can be little notes that you leave around the house. It can be little things, making somebody's lunch for them. And all those are gifts of our heart and our love. And that gift says, "I love you. I thought of you. When we weren't together, you came to my mind, and I just wanted to love on you a little bit." Now, that doesn't mean big things aren't nice too, but that's so not the most important part. And here's a really good gift. You want to get a gift for somebody whose love language is gift? Get them the oil of 3 wise men. 3 wise men were the gifts that was brought to baby Jesus, and that you are valuable, that you are more than enough, that you appreciate that person. Or if you have somebody on your team that gifts is their thing, get a roll on, put the 3 wise men in it, and send it out to them as a surprise, because they are more than enough. They are a gift to you as a friend, as a team, as a whatever. 3 wise men. Another one you can do is sacred frankincense. Sacred frankincense is all about that as well, that you are valued, that you're important to me. Those are great ones that you can use, and that you can apply. So, again, because so often our love languages are misunderstood, we don't feel the love. Like, we can be surrounded by people that love us, but if they're speaking a different language and they are telling us in words of affirmation that our heart is the gifts, we're not getting that back, and we don't feel like anybody loves us. Using things like 3 wise men and how much you love you, the gift that is for you, getting gifts for yourself. Those are things that you can do. You can even send yourself letters. So when you're feeling down and you get this sweet letter that you wrote 2 days ago, I have notes all over the place, right? You could do the same thing with love. That's when we tell you guys to put things on your mirror, that is a gift to you, so that when you see it, it reminds you. So you can do lots of things with that. So it doesn't have to be big. And joy. Joy is another good one that you could use in this for gifts that you can put right over your heart. You can make for your children that have that, make them their own little roll on with some joy in there, because it is so uplifting. It is so powerful that it's something that's going to make them feel that value. All right. Then there's acts of service. So acts of service, if I were to have to like put a number on it, I bet you the majority of people have acts of service as their love language. The acts of service are those people that are always show up. They help you set up, they help you tear down, they help make the meal. Somebody passes away, they deliver the meal for them. They come over and they clean the house when somebody's got something going on. Those are the families who are the person goes through and they clean the entire house, and they make sure the dishes are done, and they organize, and they wake up really, really early to take care of their needs, so they are fully present to take care of everybody else's needs. And they pack the backpacks, and they make the lunches, and they do all of the things. These are also the people that when they spend those hours and hours cleaning and the whole family comes in and they drop all their stuff on the floor, these are the people that lose their crap. They're the ones that are like, "Nobody ever helps me do anything." And, "Will you take the trash out? Will you take the trash out? Will you take the, fine, I'll take the trash out." And they like go insane. And everybody else in the house is like, "What just happened? Mom was fine and now she's not fine. Dad was good and now he's not good." And what's happening is all of those little bits of things that they're doing for everybody else, this is their way of saying, "I love you all so much. Like, you don't even know. I love you from my guts. And I get up early and I scrub the floors and I do all the things," because those acts of service are their way of saying, "I love you." Then when you walk in the door and you throw your stuff all over and your muddy feet go all over the place, you're saying, "I don't like your love. I don't want your love. I don't need your love." It's like somebody wrote you a love letter, and right in front of them you burned the love letter. Yeah. Right? That's what they're feeling. that they're not being loved because their love is their ex. The spouse that goes to work and works 40 hours a week in a job they hate. They just hate it, they hate it, they hate it, but they go because they know that that's how they provide for their family. It's their act of service to do for the people they love. And then they talk to their significant other, and their significant other says, "You're gone all the time. I hate that you're gone all the time. You don't appreciate me," because theirs is quality, right? Their quality time. "You don't appreciate me. You're never here." Or you don't make enough money. We can't pay any of our bills. Our house is too little. What they're hearing is their act isn't enough. And the person doesn't want their love. So now they're coming from an angry spot because they feel unloved. And what we have is a lack of communication because we're speaking two different languages. So learning that when it's acts of service for somebody, we need to consciously start appreciating those acts that they're doing, and we need to partner in it. And then to take the trash out before you're asked to take the trash out. Put your shoes away. When a little one comes to you and they're like, "Mommy, Mommy, I made my bed." And you go in and you go, "That's nice, Michael." And then you remake the bed, just burnt his love letter to you, because that act of making, no little kid wants their bed clean or made. They're doing it to please you because it's an act of service to do something for you. When they say, "I put away all my Legos," and you're like, "You missed three," you're pointing out why it wasn't good enough, why they weren't good enough. So we have to learn to recognize those little things that they're doing, because they're start, especially with our kids. They're in all the love languages. They're feeling them and they're picking out which one is the most important. And when we're shutting down all of the different things, because even as they get bigger, we stop touching. Right? "Oh, she's 10. She doesn't want to hug anymore." Pull her in and hug her. She needs your love. I'm just saying. This one is huge. So we need to start seeing that. We need to recognize it. And we need to make a list of three things that you know they really want you just to take care of. If you just took care of those three things, they would feel valued. And what's another thing you can do? Literally say, "Hey, honey, I appreciate the thousands of things you do. I don't even know most of what you accomplish for us, but it means the world. Please tell me how I can help you. How can I serve you? What are like the three most important things you want me to get done every single day so I can honor and respect that?" So if you have a husband, he's at work all day and doing his thing, and what you think you're doing is the most important things for him, it might not even come close. He might want you to pick up the screwdriver and put it back in the toolbox every single time. Like, that could be his act of service that would to him mean the world. You used his stuff, you put it back where it was, and you let him know that it happened. That showed him love because that mattered to him. Where for you it could be something completely different. Making sure you throw away the container, but instead of just putting the empty container in the fridge, and why that matters. So all those little things that you feel somebody is nagging you about, that's because they are acts of service, which is their love language. And when you're not loving them back, they feel it. So you could be saying all day long, "You are so pretty. You are so beautiful. This house is so pretty. I appreciate you so much." But you're not showing any acts. There's no action behind the words. They're not going to feel the love because that's not their love language. You could be giving foot massages all the time. Don't get me wrong, if you want to foot massage me, I will accept the love. But if that's not their language, you're still missing the mark. So if it's acts of service, figure out how you can serve them. Ask them what you could do. That you would be surprised. Some of the stuff, it's not what we always think it is. I'm just saying, oils that you can do for acts of service. Gratitude and common sense. Okay, so you have somebody in your life that acts of service is their thing. You need to start putting on gratitude and learning to be grateful for what they're doing, and use some common sense so you can show those acts of service. So it's a reminder for you. I usually tell people if there's something you need to use all the time, like Progescence Plus, we should be using Progescence Plus multiple times throughout the day. It's a whole nother class. But I tell ladies to keep it in the bathroom, because every time you go to the bathroom, you're going to see it, you're going to use it, so that you get that over and over again, right? But you can do the same thing with something like the common sense and your gratitude. Put them somewhere where you will see them, in your pocket with your car keys. And every time time you pick them up, see them, use them, I want you to immediately go do something. This doesn't mean you have to give your whole day. I'm not saying go clean out the garage. I'm saying small things, little things. Like when your loved one has a cold, you should put tissues all over the place. Like everywhere that they sit, they're in the kitchen, there should be a little box of tissue. They're in the living room, a little box of, it's a tiny act of service that says, I knew you were going to have a runny nose over here, baby, and I didn't want you to have to get up and go look for the tissues every time. It's little tiny things done consistently. And when you have them near you, you're going to remember to do it more. As a person who feels that way, that your acts of service, I want you to grab fennel because I want you to learn how to tell people what you need from them instead of yell and hope they get the hint. I think we are very big on you should know what I need. And this is really for every love language. That I've been married 33 years. He should know what I need. Have you told him without yelling? Have you told her what your need is? Have you expressed why? And fennel really helps with communication. You guys, I talk about fennel all the time. And then the other one for acts of service is dream catcher. So that I want you to know that your dream of perfection, it is exactly that. It's a dream. It's okay to live in the real world. It's okay for some stuff not to be perfectly perfect in every way. And to be okay with that and know that whatever you have, whatever is going on, you are more than enough. You are more than enough. You are loved. You are valued. You are important. And that is for all the love languages, everybody on this call. You are more than enough. I'm just saying we need to step into that. And I just let you know this right now. Whoever sent you this video or tagged you in it or whatever, they did it because they love you. They did it because they want you to be able to experience some amazing things. And if you are not already a part of the world of Young Living Essential Oils, I need you to hook back up with that person, call them up, send them a text and say, oh my gosh, I want to try some oily goodness. And they will partner with you and help you figure some things out. We have some regular classes that we do. And like I said, this Tuesday coming up, the same channel, we're going to be doing a class on male and female hormones, like how to get that balance. And we're going to have a little bit of bringing the healthy sex life back in. So I keep saying it's a mature audience only because it's going to get a little bit interesting. So you are welcome to join us for that. Invite your friends to be there. And then we have, for those of you that are sharing Young Living consistently and you want to be able to take this to the world, we have got brand partner Zooms that we do every Thursday at 6 p.m. And you are welcome to join us for those as well. I do also want to throw out, we've got a thyroid and adrenals class happening in 2 weeks. You can get that information on Shannon Hudson, that's my name, YL, that's my game.com. So shannonhudsonyl.com and go look under lives and Facebook Live, Zooms. It's on the top of the thing, classes, and you can see the classes that are coming out. But so grateful to have you guys on the call. I hope you got a little bit of something out of it. I know I went 45 minutes. I was trying for 30. So God bless you all. If you have any questions, I will read all of your comments that are over there, and I will try to answer any questions that you have. Other than that, God bless. We'll catch you later.